Grazie a Marco Barulli e a Letizia Perazini, sottovoce, so I'll try. The world is wired. Education, going forward, is the black gold of the 21st century. Without education, we will fail. There are too many people in the world who are not educated, who don't have access to the tools of education. In the commercial textbook world, these people are very unhappy in the United States, and I think maybe in Europe too. The students pay too much money. Faculty have to work all the time to deal with new editions, changing their notes. The educational institutions are having a difficult time, not enough money. The authors, they're tired. They don't want to have to keep repeating themselves. Every 2 years in America, they have to publish a new edition. Some of the proprietary textbook models that have come forward to address the problems of textbook publishing in America are these companies. Some of you may have heard of them. But there is an emerging solution. This is open, the open licensed solution. There are many new possibilities that are coming forward from open content models. What is open? If I publish a book with normal copyright, as you all know, all of the rights are reserved, all of the rights. I reserve all of the rights for myself. And you, the user of the book, have almost no rights. You can't do very much with the content. The 4 R's of openness. This refers to all open content. The right to reuse the content, the right to redistribute the content, the right to revise or adapt the content, and the right to remix the content into new open educational resources. This is common to all open licensed content, whether it be software, whether it be print publications, whether it be pharmaceutical formulas, whether it be the infrastructure for modern automobiles. There is an open automobile movement happening today as we speak. What open is not necessarily. It is not necessarily online. You can have open content without it having to be online. It is not necessarily free, and it is not necessarily a wiki. How did we get to the $200 textbook? In America, in 1980s, lots of sales representatives, many people selling books, thousands of them. Costs a lot of money. In the 1990s, publishers bring all kinds of new possibilities. I'll give you a computer if you use my book. I'll give you a new machine if you use my book. I'll give you this if you use my book. That costs money, so the cost of the books goes up. In the 2000s, we have in America students who are increasingly wired, as they are here in Italy and in Europe and worldwide. And the value gap that has been increasing every year between the students, what the student pays for and what the student gets, is decreasing. So in America, we have $140 textbooks, $205 textbooks. This is more sometimes than tuition. So as a result, in America, the cost of textbooks is 186% of the GNP. The average cost of any other product. So these costs are incredible. They're very, very high. In California, we see that the tuition at a 2-year college is less than the cost of the textbooks. The textbooks cost 3 times what the tuition for the school costs. The Gates Foundation finished a study showing that the major reason, the most important reason for students leaving university in the United States is the cost of the textbooks. This is unacceptable. So, we have the students frustrated. They try to solve the problem. They buy used books. They go around the world to look for books that are published in India or China because they cost less, or they trade books, or sometimes they don't buy the book at all. And many students don't go to school because they can't afford the textbooks. So the publisher, what does the publisher do? He's worried, doesn't know what to do, so he's got an idea, and he brings up the price. That will solve my problem. I'll make some custom publishing, bundle my textbooks, make the author work extra hard, more new editions, the big machine, the publishing machine. They cut the time between editions in half, and then in half, and in half, so every 12 months now in the United States, we have new editions. The professor has the new lecture notes. Every time the new book comes out, new lecture notes. So, one solution to this is Flat World Knowledge's commercial open textbook model. This model is basically bringing in the best authors possible, the best, professionally developing their textbooks, just like Pearson would, like D'Agostini would, like McGraw-Hill would. And they fully support the textbooks. So, instructors' manuals, study guides. The faculty, the books are openly licensed, and we provide a customization platform for the books, so the books can be customized. And so you see here online, when the student comes to the Flat World Knowledge website, you see the textbook like this after you've gone to the catalog. And if you want to customize the book, automatically comes up by chapter and section. So I can use my mouse on my computer to re-chronologize the content. I can move the chapters around. I can reorganize the sections. I can move a section in and out of a chapter. I can delete these things. Very easy. If I want to add notes, I can add notes. It's very transparent. I type them in, and when I'm finished, they come into the format of the book. If I want to move chapters around, once I'm into the page, I can do the same thing on the left-hand side. And if I wish, I can change anything in the textbook at the paragraph level and into the sentence and punctuation level. So when I want to edit this paragraph, you'll see that there are some editing tools along the top. Every paragraph is XML based. All of this is XML, so it's transferable, interoperable. And I can change everything to the word, the punctuation, and the sentence level. And when I'm finished, I can add rich media. I can add a video. I can add my own video. I can refer to a YouTube video. I can bring in any rich media I want to, digital audio, whatever. And when I'm finished with that, it comes up on the page looking like this. When I'm finished with my editing, and I can complete my editing over multiple sessions, the book publishes, it rebuilds automatically, new table of contents, new index, repagination, and multiple learning formats are generated. So the book is available on all portable formats automatically. So this lets the students choose the best format for them. This is just one homily that we have from a professor in the United States. So for the students, the book online is free. No strings attached, no advertising noise. The book is free. They can use their computer to read it online. It's web hosted. It's available 24 hours a day. No access codes. It's free. Free to everyone. It's section in the United States free to blind people. So we have the book on a website that enables a DAISY reader to read this content, so digital braille. And there are format choices available. Softcover, audio, PDF, available for the iPad, iPhone, everything. Audio study guides, and the rest. So the student experience, the student comes here into the web page. If I'm the student, I come in and I locate my professor, my class, and the book. and the content opens up. I can take notes if I want to. I can read the book in PDF half-page format. I can also read it in full-page format. Excuse me. So if I put my notes in, I can share my notes with my peers, or I can keep them private. We can license this content into institutions at very attractive prices. And by the way, the print book if I'm a student and I want to order the print copy of this book, I can order the book for $30 American. $30, not $250 or $230. It's a black and white grayscale copy that is delivered in bulk to the bookstore or print on demand to the student. The student can also buy by a chapter for $2 and many other options, many other purchasing options are available. The benefits, authors are happy, students are happy, the teachers are happy, and the students are happy. This is after 20 months, 150,000 students, 1,300 faculty in the United States, and more than 100 authors. About 150 authors have been signed. The very best. These are authors that have already published for McGraw-Hill, for Pearson, and for other very, very good companies. They're well known. The status, 102 authors under contract, and currently what we have is students coming to the website, 50% who come to read the free book convert to buying something. So that's a very good statistic. In fact, it meets a number that's higher than we projected in the business plan. The most popular book is the black and white book, and the second most popular item to buy is the $24.95 PDF that will fly on a Kindle, an iPad, an iPhone, or whatever. These are some of the schools, some of the best schools in the United States. More than 850 universities are using our textbooks. The press has been very kind to us in America. Lots of people are writing about us, very enthusiastic. So I won't get too deeply into the technology, but basically what we have here is an infrastructure, an open back end. It's built over Drupal that enables all of the things that I've been talking about. We're now in version 2, and the new features are included are white labeling. There's some APIs that have been built into the system. E-commerce, mobile formats have been built in. And next year, the publishing platform will enable anyone who wants to publish a book with an open license to come into the website to publish their book. And once the book is published, all of the new formats are generated just as they would be for the book that we are doing. It would enter the e-commerce stream, the Flat World Knowledge e-commerce stream. And what this results in essentially is an instructor, for instance, who likes one of our canonical texts, one of our original books, he or she can modify that book at will. When they create the edited version of the book, a new ISBN number is created. This happens in every edited version of our textbooks. So essentially, I am creating, if I'm a professor or anyone inside of Flat World Knowledge, and I welcome you all to try this out. You can go to the website, create a school. You can say just invent a school name, use your name, play with the editing tools, create a derivative of your book, and you can see how this works. It's very, very easy. In conclusion, what's driving this is this idea of black gold in the 21st century. We have to make education and the tools for education more affordable. And commercial institutions and government institutions and other institutions can work together to make this happen. Commercial institutions can retool slightly. They can continue to profit. The idea here is to create sustainable open models. This is not something where a foundation is giving me money or the government is giving me money. We're using the profit motive and a very, very smart infrastructure to generate new innovation in publishing. So there are many, many social benefits. I won't repeat them. If I don't finish college, if I don't finish school, these are some of the things that I will not have in my life. So it's important that we make these changes. We need to learn the lesson because most of us, we weren't alive when the scribes were alive in the Renaissance. And we know that they fought very hard against this, just as most of the general media has not, and I'm sorry to say this, because I'm a part of the general media, has not innovated aggressively enough. This is our responsibility. It's our responsibility to drive profit. It's our responsibility to help our customers, to enable our customers, and not constrain them, because we don't want to innovate. We're a big brain now. The world is wired, and whether or not we do this, someone will do this. Someone will do this. And they will do it aggressively, and they will win. So we either adapt to the new need for universal education, easy access to tools of education, or we will be replaced like the scribes. So, where is this going? These are the things, in addition to textbooks, the disintermediation of content that is going, this is happening now. So, in the primary schools, we need to embed cognitive neuroscience research into content. We need to open up journal distribution. I know that's happening here in Europe. We need to realize that this open content is actually starting to disintermediate the structure of education itself. Education anytime, anywhere, any place. If you can get the content for free, and if it's in a sustainable model, like a flat world knowledge model or one like it, and flat world knowledge, by the way, will have competitors because this is a functional model, then a student begins to ask, well, why should I have to go to school? Why should I have to go to class? I can get the content any place I want. I can read the lecture from a famous professor at the University of Padua or at Harvard. Why do I have to go to school? And then the next question becomes the question of what Kevin Kelly calls generatives. What the internet is going to bring us is new ways to pay for things. And the thing that's going to be paid for is certification, authentication. The content becomes a commodity. So we need to understand that the content is going to be created in a new way, and we're going to have to wrap lots of very valuable services around the content. And that includes things like learning management systems, learning assessment systems that are expert system driven, using a lot of artificial intelligence. That's where this is going. It's not here today, but in the next 10 years, this trend is going to accelerate rapidly at a faster than exponential pace. It's happening now. So some of the things that publishers can do is partner with the demand side of education. Talk more to the people who are hiring college graduates, find out what they need, and then as a publisher begin to work with the institution and those corporate institutions to bring home more relevant content that's available in real time, now, at affordable prices. And there is much more that I can say, but I think I'm probably close to my 20 minutes, and I'm happy to take questions. I'm sorry for my voice. I hope I was intelligible. And the next time I come, if I'm lucky enough to be here, I'll hopefully know more Italian, so I can at least introduce myself properly. Okay, thank you very much.
Great speech, thank you, Sanford.
Okay.
Mentre Sanford indossa la sua cuffia per la traduzione dei vostri interventi, abbiamo un po' di tempo, credo che valga la pena approfondire, fare domande e così via. Il microfono è a vostra disposizione e vediamo chi vuole. Abbiamo un intervento. Il microfono non funziona.
Pronto?
Sì, se gentilmente ci chiedono per le riprese poi di tutto quello che metteremo online, se chi interviene si può alzare in piedi, grazie.
Buongiorno, Cristina Mussinelli, Associazione Italiana Editori. Volevo solo chiedere, la piattaforma è utilizzata solo per i vostri titoli o anche per titoli di altri editori?
For our titles only, but this will begin to change because many content partners have approached Flat World Knowledge. I actually brought a number of content partners to Flat World Knowledge who are interested in the potential for open licensing their textbooks. And as you realize, open licenses are the option, or licensing, the kind of license that we use is the option of the publisher. This is something that authors, I'm sure, aren't too happy about in the long run, but authors can make more money and do make more money in this model. We offer our authors 20%, to give you an example, compared to 15 or 12% that McGraw-Hill and Pearson offer them.
Next.
Hi Sanford, ciao.
Ciao.
Un chiarimento rispetto a quello che hai detto. Hai parlato del ruolo dell'autore, hai parlato del ruolo degli editori, così messo in discussione nel vostro modello, ma poi neanche tanto. Non ho capito bene le università come entrano nel tuo schema. A un certo punto hai detto che tu dai in licenza dei contenuti alle università. Puoi approfondire questo concetto? Come entrano nello schema?
Surely. The university professor is the source of content. I'm sure that's the same as it is here in most every place on earth. So our relationship to the university is one where we solicit authors who are professors, who are academics, who are very well known. They're academic superstars. Many of them have published several titles already with commercial publishing houses. So our relationship with them is the same as the relationship that Pearson has, or possibly D'Agostini has, or that McGraw-Hill has. But where the relationship changes is that we allow them, or our model permits the author to open license the content, which means that in the United States, instead of publishing a book for $240 and seeing the price of the book, the profit from the book for the author go up for the first 18 months and then go down to zero because all of the used books are in the market, this model basically allows the author to see that increase in price, and because the book can be edited by the instructor through multiple editions, the book stays in use, and so far that is bearing out. Again, to answer your question about the role of the university again is a partner and always has been a partner with the publisher, and what we need to do is use open licensing and other innovations to continue that relationship because it's important. Yes.
Abbiamo lì e poi là.
Mi chiamo Giordano Vaccari e stia a sentire, lei parla di università. Io sono un insegnante di scuola media superiore, di liceo. Questo metodo, questo modo di lavorare in America può funzionare anche a questi livelli? Visto che si parlava anche di videogiochi, i miei alunni smanettano col computer, ecco, potrebbe essere anche uno strumento per recuperarli allo studio? Con una partecipazione più diretta, invitandoli a scrivere, ad intervenire direttamente.
Grazie.
Yes, this is a great question. This is a matter of political, institutional, and personal will. In the United States, recent studies have shown that 100% of 4-year-olds are gamers. So what does this mean? These are children who are living in a world that we did not come from. So we have to learn to adapt to their learning needs, and at the same time learn enough about them so that we make content not only affordable but workable. There's a lot more I can talk about in that respect, but to answer your question about the high schools, yes, absolutely. This model should work and can work, in fact does work. Many high schools in America are using Flat World Knowledge college textbooks because they are able to rederive the textbooks and bring the level down. So if I'm teaching a world history at a 10th grade level in America, I can adopt a Flat World Knowledge college book for that Flat World Knowledge title and rederive that book, maybe eliminate a few chapters, bring the tone of the content down, and that book is then republished as a new derivative that high school students can use. And by the way, in the next versions of the Flat World Knowledge model, someone who creates a derivative like that can be used that derivative will also enter the commerce stream. So the creator of that derivative can see royalties on top of the royalties that are given to the original author.
Mi chiamo Agostino Quadrino, sono di una società editrice italiana, si chiama Garamond, e noi nel nostro contesto stiamo cercando di fare una cosa simile, e l'abbiamo chiamata social learning, la presenteremo oggi alle 14:20 qui nel workshop. Volevo chiederle, visto che ci troviamo a fare lo stesso tipo di percorso, se anche da voi in America avete avuto le stesse difficoltà che troviamo noi e quali sono le reazioni dei grandi gruppi industriali editoriali rispetto alla vostra iniziativa da un lato e della pubblica amministrazione americana dall'altro rispetto a questa nuova ipotesi di cultura e conoscenza come bene comune. Grazie.
Yes, well, the initial reaction of the commercial publishers in the United States was one of disinterest and putting down the model. There was a lot of talk on campuses. The college representatives were saying that this would not work, that Flat World Knowledge would be out of business in a year, and so on. That didn't happen, and in fact, the Flat World Knowledge is now up to more than 1,000 schools. I think that the reality is that this is new. This is not going to replace D'Agostini. It's not going to replace Pearson. It's not going to replace McGraw-Hill. These are very good companies. They're very smart companies with lots of smart people. But there's going to be an adaptive phase. There's going to be restructuring. There is always pain in change and restructuring. And if one owns the idea or the meme to a market, then there's resistance to change. So congratulations for your work.
C'è una... sì, lì e poi a seguire giù in fondo.
Sì, Dino Baldi da Giunti Scuola. Chiedevo, un modello così avanzato e interessante richiede anche un modello avanzato nella testa degli autori, che sono un altro spesso dei fronti di conservazione, insomma, del sistema editoriale scolastico. Volevo sapere appunto qual è l'esperienza su questo fronte, se è stato semplice oppure che problemi sono emersi.
Initially, there was some resistance. The founder of Flat World Knowledge, the co-founders of Flat World Knowledge, Jeff Shellstead and Eric Frank, came from Pearson. So they had very good relations with many authors. And as authors have begun to talk, this has become a viral thing. And many authors now are coming to Flat World Knowledge. The fact is that we reject, or Flat World Knowledge rejects, about 99% of the solicitations that come from authors. The editor-in-chief at Flat World Knowledge is Michael Bosey, also from Pearson, who has had a tremendous success rate in signing some of the very best authors in the disciplines that we are publishing in. So it's a matter of a learning curve and getting people used to the idea. And by the way, authors love the money. It's more money.
Buongiorno, io sono Monica Landoni dell'Università della Svizzera Italiana, ma ho trascorso 15 anni in Scozia nell'ambito accademico, e in Scozia noi abbiamo affrontato the print on demand, lo scenario del print on demand, e abbiamo considerato come far utilizzare ai nostri studenti i libri elettronici. Come dice lei, gli autori sono un problema, ma sono abbastanza entusiasti. Gli studenti sono entusiasti se gli viene detto cosa leggere, ma bisogna anche considerare il problema delle reading list, delle letture che vengono richieste ai nostri studenti, dei libri di testo ufficiali, e purtroppo il vostro modello, che è molto interessante, sembra partire da from scratch, cioè da adesso in poi i nostri autori aderiranno e daranno il contenuto. Ci sono molti contenuti disponibili gratuitamente, ci sono grossi repository come l'Internet Archive o il Project Gutenberg, anche se di scarsa qualità, di scarso appeal per gli studenti che leggono quello che viene suggerito dai docenti. Il docente che poteva fare il print on demand già 6-7 anni fa con la McGraw-Hill, per esempio, poteva solo scegliere i titoli della McGraw-Hill. Ora voi date uno scenario più ampio, ma mi domando, questi libri di testo su cui i nostri editori guadagnano un sacco di soldi non saranno mai accessibili a voi. Come potete fare? Come potete fare a integrare? È bellissimo l'idea di dare al docente la possibilità di combinare contenuto con multimedia, con il contributo degli studenti e quindi rendere il libro adattivo ad ogni classe, ad ogni studente. Ma cosa facciamo di quello che c'è già e che è molto utile ed è stato utilizzato da molti?
I think that's a great question, and what's happening is that content is becoming commodified. So we have to realize that the actual value of the content itself is beginning to decrease. And this goes to the long tail that the internet creates relative to content. So how do you deal with that? A publisher is going to have to deal with that by creating adaptive, new, innovative services that surround, this is the content, and you have to surround the content with adaptive services, with services that add more value. As far as the content that already exists in many of the archives, one of the problems with that is how do you find the good content? And this is the role of the publisher. The publisher has always fulfilled the role of the filter of quality content for the marketplace. So I think there's absolutely a role for publishers here. This cannot be done only by the university professor. It has to be a combination. And by the way, the government also has to come in. I think that going forward, without going on about it, I would love to talk more about this, but the government, commercial sector, and the university, which is usually a part of the government, often a part of the government, have to find ways to come together. This is happening in the United States. The Obama administration is working to fund open content archives, to fund open content textbooks, open content software, and my last boss before Flat World Knowledge, Martha Cantor, who is President Obama's Undersecretary of Education, and I worked together to create the California Community College Open Textbook Collaborative, where the collaborative works with publishers to create new content that is open. And now Flat World Knowledge is one of those publishers, but there are others.
Next question. There are any? I have a question myself. Un'ultima domanda. Io sto cercando di guardare anche il flusso dei tweet che scorrono mentre noi parliamo in sala e mi è parso di vedere che emergesse anche una domanda, un desiderio di maggiore comprensione sulla sostenibilità economica di questo modello, e cioè la domanda era più o meno sì, però poi anche in questo modello gli studenti, c'è bisogno che gli studenti abbiano un device, c'è bisogno che l'editore guadagni qualcosa e c'è bisogno che Flatworld guadagni qualche cosa. Volevo chiedere a Sanford qualche chiarimento in più sul modello economico, sul modello di business specifico. Chi paga cosa a chi?
Okay, so the Flat World Knowledge is venture funded. Flat World Knowledge has just taken on a second round of funding from Bertelsmann and Bessemer Venture Partners. The total amount of capital that Flat World Knowledge has taken to date is $30 million. In addition to other monies that may come from the government to help underwrite this model. In terms of what we're doing is we're offering choice. So students come to the Flat World Knowledge website, they can get something for free. But there are many studies going back into the 90s that show, for instance, by Time Warner and others, that if you offer free content to a consumer, and then you offer that same content for a price that the consumer considers marginally affordable, and these come from marketing studies, the consumer about 90% of the time will choose to buy the affordable content rather than just opt in to read the free content. So we know this, and we know that if we provide affordable choices to students, they will opt in to buy content. So that's where the profit model comes from for Flat World Knowledge, and to date, nearly 60% of the students that come to Flat World Knowledge inside of the adoptions that have been made at the university are buying content. They're buying the print book, they're buying the PDF or whatever. Lastly, many CIOs, Chief Information Officers in government and universities are beginning to realize that, and because that, let me go back and say that the adoption of portable devices on campus in America is not really that high. iPads and other portable tablets are about 6%. But chief information officers on college campuses are beginning to realize that, well, we can put content on the textbook, on the iPad. We can put the course schedule on the iPad, the student newspaper on the iPad, the student rental information for housing on the iPad. And if you take a look at all of those things that have to be printed, the return on investment for the iPad or any other portable tablet it happens within 6 to 8 months. So we're going to start seeing universities as institutions force the driving of these portable devices on campus, whether students want them or not. But the fact is that students want them.
Bene, thank you very much. We enjoyed a lot your speech.
Thank you very much.
Sanford. Nice to be there.